We are live in 3, 2, 1.
There are only 8 days are left in the 2019 legislative session, and lawmakers are working to revise Medicaid expansion.
Sandy police are looking for a man who has been caught stealing packages off several doorsteps. Come on, little guy.
After roaming the streets of Bountiful, a moose and her calf are released back into the wild. Welcome to Newsline. It's Tuesday, February 26th. I'm Amy Hamilton.
And I'm Maren Klein. Governor Gary Herbert signed an amended medical expansion bill into law just 2 weeks ago.
Some Utahns are not happy as the state prepares for the changes starting April 1st. Reporter Kelsey Carlson is at the state capitol. Kelsey, how is the state preparing for the upcoming changes?
So we are actually here today, and we just came out of a meeting where state lawmakers were telling us about the new initiatives that will take place here starting on April 1st with the newly signed amendment to Proposition 3 that was just signed 2 weeks ago by Governor Gary Herbert. Now, Proposition 3 was passed with 53% of votes back in November, and a ballot initiative on that was passed where these voters thought that 138% of people below the poverty line would be allowed to receive full Medicaid benefits. Well, that's changed a little bit as now Governor Gary Herbert, as we just said, has changed that. The amendments made by the House went through the Senate and was signed in law just 2 weeks ago, where he said that because of the tax increases that would be created, that they're now going to put stipulations on that, and they're going to require those receiving aid to be employed. There's going to be limits on how many people can receive these benefits. There also will be, they will be asking the federal government for help to stop to help us with those uncovered costs so that we can go through with that bill.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Stronger beer may soon make its way to the Beehive State. The Utah Senate voted 21-8 to pass the bill that would raise the level of alcohol being sold in retail stores from 3.2 to 4.8% alcohol. Utah is the last state to raise its alcohol limits, and many manufacturers have begun to pull their 3.2 products off the market. The House will vote on the measure later this week.
A bill that would allow Utah drivers to run red lights is one step closer to becoming law. The measure that would allow drivers to run through red lights during extremely low traffic passed 39 to 34 in the House on Monday. It now moves to the state Senate for consideration. If it passes, House Bill 151 would allow a driver to head through a red light after waiting at least 90 seconds on a highway with a speed limit of 55 miles per hour or lower. Utah representatives vote down a bill banning cell phone use while driving. The bill only allowed for hands-free devices to be used behind the wheel, such as voice command and Bluetooth devices. The sponsor of the bill says that it should be an easy fix and would enforce safer driving. Those that oppose the bill say there are far more important issues regarding distracted drivers than just cell phones.
A man pleads not guilty after he is accused of attacking 3 Latinos in a tire shop in Salt Lake City. 50-year-old Alan Dale Covington appeared in federal court on Monday. He is charged with assault. Prosecutors say he shouted that he wanted to, quote, kill Mexicans, and then he attacked 3 Latino men in the tire shop. Prosecutors say he was not charged with a hate crime because of the way the law is written. A legislative proposal to strengthen the hate crimes law is under consideration this session.
A new report from the Utah Department of Corrections says Lauren McCluskey's killer violated parole twice before he killed her. The report showed that 37-year-old Melvin Rowland's parole officer wrote mostly positive things about him despite the 2 violations. The parole officer gave Rowland verbal warnings for both violations, which is parole violation. University police claim they knew nothing of his parole until after McCluskey's death.
Park City Ski Patrol says winter sports rack up high numbers of injuries. Newsline reporter Larissa Vecchi joins us now. Larissa, how can snowboarders and skiers enjoy the last weeks of winter while staying safe?
The snowfall of this winter has led to a great season for snowboarding, skiing, and even sledding, but this has not come without the expensive injuries.
Anytime you tell somebody you snowboard, they're always like, ooh, like, be careful.
Most people face minor injuries on mountain slopes while others are sent straight to the emergency room. Tens of thousands of people deal with concussions, dislocated or broken bones, and spinal injuries. Just in Park City Mountain Resort, located in Park City, Utah, hundreds are rushed off of the mountain by ski patrol.
Most of them are pretty insignificant. We get a decent amount of concussions, twisted knees, stuff like that.
Even experienced snowboarder like safety ski patroller Brian Barnes has seen the dangerous side of the sport.
I actually skied off the side of a cliff and I tore my MCL because, if you do a 50-foot cliff that you're not expecting, tend to hurt yourself.
Officials say the number of hospitalizations have been increasing by the year. Winter of 2017 saw a total of 54,000 snowboard-related hospital visits, and these visits increased by 9.3% in 2018. Skiing hospitalizations went from 69,000 in 2017 to an increase of 27% in 2018. Numbers are projected to increase even more in 2019. Although injuries may be a prominent aspect of winter sports, the NSAA says more than 50,000 visits are made yearly to ski resorts in the United States. In order to stay safe, ski medics say to wear the appropriate gear such as helmets, warm clothes, and goggles. Ski resorts also follow safety protocol to ensure their guests are safe.
Injuries suck, but you always learn from them.
According to Intermountain Healthcare, the most common skiing injury is a broken leg, while the most common injuries for snowboarders are to the arms, wrists, and ankles. Reporting for Newsline, I'm Larissa Becky.
The Sandy City Police Department is looking for a man they say robbed several apartments. Take a look at this video. Police believe this man is responsible for several burglaries at the apartment on 8326 South Durham Street in Sandy. The burglaries typically occur early in the morning. A man was caught on a Ring doorbell video taking other people's packages off of doorsteps. The man in this video was also checking out storage closets just before 3 a.m. Anyone who knows this man or has any information on the burglaries should contact Sandy Police.
An 81-year-old man has been found after he was reported as missing in the Roy area yesterday afternoon. Ronald Cantor had been last seen in his home wearing blue jeans and a red plaid shirt. Officers say Cantor may have had dementia and were concerned he was not appropriately dressed for the weather. However, he has been located in good health and is in the process of being reunited with his family. The Roy City Police Department would like all those involved in finding Ronald.
The Utah Transit Authority is offering free rides on Frontrunner, tracks, and bus lines to help reduce pollution. UTA is waiving fares for public transportation on Thursday and Friday. Transportation officials say last year's free fare day saw a 23% jump in ridership. That year, thousands of cars were taken off the roads, which helped prevent some pollution and greenhouse gases.
The Utah Division of Wildlife Resources released a cow moose and her calf back into the wild after roaming the streets of Bountiful.
Come on, little guy.
The Bountiful neighborhood saw that the calf moose around 4:30 yesterday morning and immediately called for help. It took wildlife officers until 11 a.m. to track down the baby moose and tranquilize it. Wildlife officials say it is not uncommon for wild animals to wander into neighborhoods, but they say to never approach them and to call the experts.
A driver encounters an unusual obstacle in the middle of a Cottonwood Heights road, a mountain goat. Police responded to a call from a concerned driver who wanted to report an odd-looking big white dog that was wandering the neighborhood near the mouth of Big Cottonwood Canyon. Officers believe the goat came down from the mountains because of the heavy snowfall. Police say the animal eventually found its own way home.
Michael Cohen is testifying to Congress right now.
We'll tell you what he's expected to reveal about the president.
We've been stuck here for 24 hours now. We're running low on supplies.
Passengers on an Amtrak train get stranded for more than one day. We'll tell you what caused the passengers to get stuck and why they couldn't get off the locomotive.
An ice tsunami invasion will show you the effects this wintry apocalypse is having on the Northeast.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at savethefood.com.
Michael Cohen is set to begin 3 days of congressional testimony. All eyes are on what the former Trump loyalist, who has since turned against him, has to reveal.
I'm done being loyal to President Trump.
He's expected to reveal what he knows about the president's dealings with Russia, including the Trump Tower meeting between campaign officials and a Russian attorney in June 2016, and a proposed Trump Tower in Moscow, the very project Cohen admitted lying to Congress about. President Trump and the White House are repeatedly slamming Cohen, saying he's not telling the truth.
Very simply, Michael Cohen is lying.
House Democrats plan on pressing Cohen for answers that could be damaging for President Trump. President Trump is in Vietnam for a second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Trump is not expected to see Kim until Wednesday evening, when they'll meet for dinner. He's expected to meet with Vietnamese officials earlier in the day. The two leaders met in Singapore last June. The summit is expected to build upon their agreement to work toward complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
After being stranded for more than 30 hours in snowing Oregon, a train carrying nearly 200 people is moving again.
The train was headed for Los Angeles Sunday evening when it came to a
Standstill after hitting a tree on the tracks. Amtrak says none of the passengers and crew members were injured. Due to track blockages from snow and fallen trees, crews were unable to reach the train. Passengers say while people were getting frustrated, they were still trying to stay positive. Other passengers also expressed frustration about what they felt was a lack of communication from Amtrak. The train is now heading back to Seattle. The Grand Canyon is celebrating 100 years as a national park today. Events in the park this year will be bigger than ever, with special programs to commemorate decades of adventure. The project 100 Years of Grand, an online archive, is also able to highlight the Grand Canyon's early history. Right now, trails and footpaths in the park are snow-packed and icy, so visitors are being told to watch their speed when they stop by. What is a tooth worth? We'll tell you how much the Tooth Fairy is leaving under pillows this year and where kids can get top dollar for their teeth.
It looks as if Elsa has cast a spell on the Northeast. Take a look at this ice tsunami. We'll show you more of this frozen frenzy and tell you the problems it is causing.
We've had some warm weather these past days. Find out how the wet temperatures will change this week.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Apparently, the Tooth Fairy is pinching pennies. The cost for lost teeth is down 43 cents, according to the yearly survey from Delta Dental. Researchers say that the average payout for the tooth is $3.70. Last year, a tooth went for $4.13. For some reason, geography plays a factor for tooth worth. In fact, children in the West average about $4.13 per tooth, while kids in the South get $3.91. In the Northeast, a tooth can get kids $3.75. Meanwhile, teeth in the Midwest earn the least, a mere $2.97. Teeth brushing can be a real struggle for many kids. According to the Centers for Disease Control, most children aren't brushing their teeth properly or frequently enough.
Natalia Pennington found out this problem is causing and increasing the amount of child oral surgeries. Natalia, is there a solution for these kids?
Brush your teeth every day to keep the dentist away is what one dentist is telling parents to avoid having problems that could end in dental surgeries later on in their lives.
Going to the dentist is not so fun for most kids, especially if they're going in for a dental surgery. Oral surgeons say more than 50 million hours of school are missed for dental problems every year. Dr. Clayton Hansen says some parents believe that baby teeth care is not as important because one day they will fall out.
Not only is that unhealthy for the child, sometimes they don't know to complain to mom and dad about tooth pain, so they could be in pain. Also, it will delay and sometimes be negative as far as the development of the permanent teeth.
Teaching them to brush their teeth when they are young is the right way to start a healthy habit, but even that can be hard.
Here, Mommy's gonna do it.
Though there is an easy solution to keep the dentist away. Dr. Hansen says that it is a good idea to come see the doctor sooner than later. By the time they are a year old, kids should have their first checkup. Dr. Hansen says that if they tell their kids how to take care of their teeth, show them how to do it, and also make sure that your kids catch the parents brushing their teeth, that will do the trick.
Dr. Hansen also recommends being creative and fun when getting kids to brush their teeth.
Oh, how cute. How is Dr. Hansen recommending that parents do this with their kids?
So he's saying, he's telling parents that they can choose their kid's favorite song and then they can dance to it as they brush their teeth. It's
classic.
Adorable.
Oh, that's I would do that now.
What a great way to engage your kids.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Natalia, for joining us.
A group of women in the advertising program at Brigham Young University got together to create a showcase featuring female-centric art. Newsline reporter Melissa La Rocha joins us now. Melissa, what is Mad Gals?
So Mad Gals is a female advertising community at BYU, and their yearly exhibit is currently on display in the Harris Fine Arts Center on BYU campus.
On the third floor of the HVAC, in a cozy gallery room, the Mad Gals exhibit is on display. The female advertising group was created to support and promote female leadership in the advertising field.
Mad Gals exhibit was created for females in the advertising community. We started Mad Gals as a group for women to support and love each other as creatives and as females in a predominantly male industry.
According to McLaws and the 3% movement, only 3% of creative leadership in advertising consists of women.
The art in the exhibit is either created by women, that's kind of expressing their unique perspective, or it is made by a male, but highlighting like the unique role of women.
The exhibit includes pieces that touch on the themes of periods, birth control, and reflections on societal norms for women. One piece is a real advertisement for the period underwear brand Thinks.
An ad that they created that's a Thinks ad, but it's very like beautiful, and the writing in the ad is like so wonderful, and it talks about how important, you know, like menstruation, having a period is, because that's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but that's like important as females in our identity.
The exhibit will remain open until this Thursday. You can find it in Gallery 303 of the HVAC building on BYU campus. You can follow Mad Gals on Instagram at their handle, BYU Mad Gals. Back to you.
Thanks, Melissa.
An ice tsunami bombards the border of New York and Canada, knocking down trees and lampposts. Savannah Higerhorst tells us how people are reacting to the surging ice wall. Savannah?
That's right, Amy. This is not an episode of Game of Thrones. An ice tsunami crashes over the shore in New York and Canada and has people saying more than just ice, ice, baby. Take a look at this amazing video from The Guardian. You can see here how boulder-sized chunks of ice are flowing over the barrier wall and onto the shore. And as you can see, the ice keeps stacking up. A combination of 60-mile-per-hour winds, strong currents, and low temperatures are forcing the ice walls to break down barriers, trees, and even lampposts. This photo is a great reference for the ice stack up. An adult and child stand on an icy road and can be seen looking at the looming 30-foot barrier of ice. Scenes like this are ushering in warnings. The town of Hamburg Emergency Services posted this on their Facebook account. They said, "There is a voluntary evacuation of Hoover Beach at this time. For the general public, we are asking you to stay out of Hoover Beach. Twitter user David Piano shared his view of the ice tsunami and the 40-foot pileup on his Twitter account. He said, "This ice tsunami is one of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. While some might be frightened by the epic ice shove, others might even consider the icy scene as beautiful. This video was shared by National Geographic of the stunning and satisfying sight of ice stacking up like shards of glass. They said, strange, beautiful ice shards stack up on Lake Superior." Ice shoves like this have been on record since the early 1820s, but thankfully, they don't happen very often.
In Arizona, a couple thought it would be fun to experience record-breaking snowfall from their cabin. Marv Osborne was just shoveling the back patio outside his family's cabin, and in seconds, half of his body was pinned underneath what felt like dozens of pounds of snow. The couple wanted to warn everyone cleaning up snow to be on the lookout for what could fall from above. Luckily, we in Utah won't see much snow. However, we will see some rain coming in from the west, going down to the east. If we look at for the highs of the days, we will see that in St. George, we will see 60 down there, and then 57 in Salt Lake, 53 in Provo, 32 in Vernal, and 38 in Blanding. So pretty high temperatures in those areas. For the lows of the days, we will see that Salt Lake will feel like 40 degrees, 39 in Provo, 37 in St. George, 16 in Vernal, 31 in Logan. So not super cold, but pretty chilly. For the 5-day forecast for southern Utah you will see some clouds coming in, but however, they will feel like they are in the 60s throughout the week. But however, during the weekend, we'll see some rain coming in. However, but the lows will be in the 40s. For the northern part of Utah, we'll see that it will be rain for the rest of the week. However, it won't be that super cold. So rain and snow will be here. We will be right back.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Despite last weekend's win over Grand Canyon, the BYU men's volleyball team remained at 9 in this week's NCAA rankings. The Cougars only played once in the past week, a 4-set victory over conference foe Grand Canyon on Saturday. BYU will take on number 8 ranked Stanford at home on Thursday, then head to California to take on the Cardinal again on Saturday. Also at BYU, men's golfer Peter Quest took first place at the John A. Burns Invitational in Lihue, Hawaii this weekend. Quest led all players with a 10 under par score for the Cougar squad, who finished in a tie for 9th overall in the tournament. Quest shot a 6 under 66 in the first round, even par in the second, and a 4 under 68 in the third round. Quest and the Cougar golfers' next tournament will be next week at the 2019 Olympic Club Intercollegiate. Utah Jazz rookie Grayson Allen hasn't made as much of an impact as some fans hoped he would this season. However, Allen made a play fans won't forget with the Jazz G League team last night.
Hands the basketball. Naz, alley-oop, and thrown out. Allen, oh my, Grayson Allen.
Allen took this alley-oop pass from Stars teammate Naz Mitra-Long for the one-handed slam in the Stars' overtime win over the Iowa Wolves. And Allen finished the game with 16 points in his 7th game with the Stars this season. LeBron James became the first player in NBA history to rank in the top 10 all-time in points and assists in the Lakers' loss to Memphis last night. James ranks 5th all-time in points scored with 32,162 and 10th all-time assists with 8,535. James' effort wasn't enough last night, however, as the Lakers would lose to Memphis 110 to 105.
I don't know what's going on here. What's going on here? And that's Doc doing a great job of talking about Dirk Nowitzki. Went grabbed the mic.
LA Clippers head coach Doc Rivers paid tribute to Dirk Nowitzki in the Clippers' 121-112 win over the Mavericks last night. The game was likely Nowitzki's last game against the Clippers in Los Angeles, so Rivers called a timeout with less than 10 seconds remaining to take the microphone and tell fans to give Nowitzki a standing ovation. Nowitzki has played 21 seasons with Dallas since being drafted in 1998, including winning the NBA Finals in 2011. We'll be right back.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
What?
A man buys more than $500 of Girl Scout cookies just so two girls wouldn't have to stand out in the cold.
In South Carolina, a man purchased a few boxes of cookies from two Girl Scouts, gave them $40, and told them to keep the change. He returned shortly after and purchased all of the boxes of cookies the girls had and told the girls to get out of the cold. The man spent $540 on cookies. It was about 34 degrees outside that night, and the girls had been outside for about 2 hours before the Good Samaritan came.
Well, thanks for joining us for Newsline today.
For more on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website, and thanks so much for coming.